Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss the electrostatics of conductors. In chapter 1, we describe the conductors and insulators. The metallic conductors contain mobile charge carriers. They are free to move, but they are not free to leave the surface of the metal. So there are positive and negative ions present, and these ions are responsible for the conduction of charges, or free electrons are there. They are free to randomly move inside the conductor, but they are not allowed to leave the surface of the metal. And here we are going to describe what are the salient features of this electrostatics of conductors. Generally, when a metallic conductor is charged or an external electric field is applied, the free electrons present in the metal, they drift against the direction of the electric field, and the positive ions present in the metal, which is made up of nuclei, bound the electrons or held firmly them. So let us see what are the main features of the electrostatics of conductors. When a conductor is electrically charged, we are giving excess charge to the conductor, but these excess charges remain in the surface of the conductor. They are not present inside the conductor. See, say conductor. When a conductor is electrically charged, suppose it is charged with positive ions. These positive ions are remain in the surface of the conductor, like this. But inside this conductor, inside this conductor, these charges are zero. That means no excess charge is present inside the conductor. That is the first feature of this electrostatics conductor. So no excess charge is present inside the conductor. But where this excess charge is present, they will remain only in the surface of the conductor. And when a conductor is electrically charged, then these electric charges will produce an electric field. And this electric field also present where? In the surface of the conductor only. That means the electric field inside the conductor. Electric field inside the conductor is zero. No electric field is present inside the conductor. So when a conductor is electrically charged, no excess charge is present inside the conductor, and also therefore no electric field is present inside the conductor. When a conductor is electrically charged and electric field is present, then there must be a particular direction for the electric field. So the direction of the electric field of a conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. So always perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. If the conductor is charged with positive charges, then the direction of the electric field perpendicular to the surface of the conductor and directed outwardly. And if the conductor is charged with negative charges, then the direction of the electric field produced will be perpendicular to the surface but directed inwardly towards the surface of the conductor. So that means the direction of the electric field produced by these positive and negative charges will be in opposite direction, but both are perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. And when we talk about this direction of the electric field, so how this direction of the electric field is considered as perpendicular, or why we are considering only the perpendicular component of the surface of the conductor? In that case, we need to consider, see, the perpendicular component of the electric field. Okay, the direction of the electric field is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. That makes an angle theta with the surface of the conductor. So here two components we can consider, and one component is directed along the surface of the conductor, and the another component that is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. So the component which is along the surface of the conductor, that can be taken as E cos theta, and the perpendicular component can be taken as E sin theta. So when we consider this, the component which is along the direction of the surface of the conductor, so the electric field E cannot be 0 here. So this component is completely considered as 0. At what condition this component can become 0? So here we know that the electric field cannot be 0 there, because an electric field is produced over the surface of the conductor. Why? Because the conductor is electrically charged. Then if electric charges are present there, then definitely there will be an electric field. Electric field cannot be 0. But then what could be the condition for this component is totally be 0? That is, the cos theta should be 0. So if the cos theta should be 0, that means the theta should be 90. At this condition, okay, if the angle is theta, okay, and that theta is at 90 degree, then this cos theta component becomes 0, so that the component, the direction of the electric field, or the component which is along the direction of the surface of the conductor, become 0. And again, so then this perpendicular component only will remain, and that gives the direction of the electric field in this case. Another feature, the potential, consider a point A at the surface of the conductor, another point B on the surface of the conductor. We compare this potential at these two points inside the conductor and on the surface of the conductor, that always be equal. So we say that VA become or is equal to VB. How it can be possible? See, if a conductor is charged, electrically charged, then there will be a potential. Okay, then there will be an electric field, then there will be a potential at every point of this surface of the conductor. So the potential at every point on the surface of the conductor will be equal. There is no change in the potential. So how it is possible? See, when we consider the potential at the point A, how we are calculating the potential? It is the potential energy, and this potential energy is considered as the work done for bringing a positive charge or a charge from point A to B, that gives the potential. Okay, so at the point A it has a potential, then at point B it has another potential. So we know that potential V is equal to Q work done divided by Q, that is W divided by Q. And here we are considering a point that from the point A to B. Okay, so that means the total work done will be for bringing a unit charge from the point A to the B. So we can say that the work done for bringing a charge from the point A to B, that is WAB divided by Q. And what will be the value for the potential then? That is the potential at the point A minus the potential at the point B. So VA minus VB is equal to WAB divided by Q. So here, as already we seen that there is no electric field is present in the inside the conductor. That means there is no electric field or electric field is zero. So if there is no electric field, when a point charge is bringing from the point A to B, no external force is required. That means no work is done when a point charge is bringing from the point A to B. That means no work done. So that means what? Here the work done is 0. So we say that 0 divided by Q. Then 0 divided by Q means that is 0. So we say VA minus VB is equal to 0. That means what? That means VA is equal to V. That means the potential at these 2 points, one is on the surface of the conductor and second is on the inside the conductor, is equal. Then let's talk about the charge density of the conductor. So when we consider the charge density sigma on the surface of the conductor, okay, so we have E, the electric field, that is equal to sigma divided by epsilon 0 into n cap. So here the electric field is equal to sigma. Sigma is the surface charge density and epsilon 0 is the permeability. So then into n cap. What is the n cap? N cap is the unit vector of the direction of the electric field. So how does it affect or how does it indicate? If the n cap is to denote the direction of the electric field. If it is a positive charge, then it directs in the outward direction from the surface of the conductor. And if it is electrically charged with the negative charge, it is directed inward direction towards the surface of the conductor. So that means which is opposite to the first. So the n cap it's determine the direction of the unit vector of the electric field. How does affect the surface density, surface charge density of a conductor? So if we take a conductor, so we have the surface charge density is inversely proportional to the radius of curvature. So how does we can explain? So if we consider a conductor, say irregular conductor, and we have 2 points here and here, and we need to find out the charge density at these 2 points. And in order to find out the charge density, then from this point to take the radius of curvature of this point. And so this will be the radius curvature at the point 1, that is R1. And at this point, if we take the radius of curvature of this point, C, so this will be the radius R2. And obviously, the radius R1 is smaller than radius R2. As per the equation, the sigma, the surface charge density is inversely proportional to 1 by R. That means when the surface charge density is large when the radius of curvature is less. That means what? Here at this point, the charges are accumulated or here. But when we consider this case, the charges are apart. So that means if the charge density at this point is sigma 1, the charge density at this point is sigma 2. So as per this equation, as the charge density is inversely proportional to the radius of curvature. So here the radius of curvature is less, so the surface charge density is large. Here the radius of curvature is large, so the surface charge density is less. So we can write as sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2. So this is all about the electrostatics of conductors. Thank you.